Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Appalachian Prospecting. I'm your host, Prospector Wayne Thornton. Been digging and scratching in the brooks for over 40 plus years now. And when you get off your hiney, you get to find some shiny. Look at that. So anyways, we got a special one today. Kind of fun. One of the things that I do in my prospecting is I drive around and I don't drive up to the mountain and look at it. I actually drive a long ways away from it in a circumference to try to see where some of these alluvial deposits in North Brooks drain. North Brooks. So what I have found is that's been a helpful tool for me, especially in relation when I look at things like Google Earth and see the mountains and say, okay, I want to go check this area out. And I'm going to tell you guys, just about every stream in this state has gold in it. You just got to really dig. Some more have a lot more than others, and there's reasons for that. And we'll get into that way down the road, geological stuff. But today, we're going to be doing a series on reading mountains. So this has been part of this series of Wayne on the Rocks, Golden Quartz. Okay, so this is one that we're going to be reading the mountains. And it's kind of fun. It's mostly located here in the Greens, and a few were shot in the Taconics. They're kind of fun. Everybody prospects differently, but for new people that are starting out, one of the things that I see and hear of all the time is everybody's got to run for a waterfall. Let's go run for the waterfalls, right? And I totally get it. I did it too. But I gotta eat crow a little bit because I did find a waterfall one time that it had to have been on a fault or a contact because I was so young, I didn't know what it was. But the shale was so close together, it looked like a giant Bible sitting there. And I started digging in there and I did find some gold. And so, yes, you can find gold, but look for areas like that. Because if it's nice, clean, washed out rock, that gold's gone, guys. Guarantee you during a flood. So, let's get off our hiney. And let's go find some shiny, but right now, we're going to take a peek at these mountains. Are you ready? Well, let's go. Hey, everybody. This episode is going to be about reading mountains for looking for brooks that could possibly hold some gold. Well, we're looking from the north to the south at Danby Mountain. This is the Great Danby Mountain. There is a quarry right up in here, and everybody knows that as the Great Danby Quarry. Look at the big valleys through here and all these little cuts that come through here right there. And that's my favorite right there. I have found gold here. Now there's a brook that drains down out of there that drains down into the Otter Creek. I do believe it's called Brook Road. But just an awesome view of Danby Mountain. So if I were going to be looking for gold, I'd be sneaking up and going up and looking at these mountains that come right across through that valley over there. Look at this right here. This right here, that brook that comes down out of there, I have found gold in there. Now, another interesting fact, right here is Mount Hogue, and that's a reverse thrust fault. And believe it or not, there is gold in the Flower Brook in the Taconics. So yeah, that face right there, there's a marble going right through that fault that cuts through there, and I do believe they still cut marble there to this day. So if I was going to read that mountain, my first spot would be here, then my second one would be there and there. And then there's a big drainage that drains down over the hill and drops into the valley. But look at the beauty we have in our state. We take it for granted because we live here all the time. That's Killington, that's Pico, just absolutely beautiful. All right, guys. Well, here's some fun fact. Right in this valley over here, you were going to be looking right up at this pen, right at the point right there. See that? There was a landslide that came through there and drained down into the Ira Valley. So if you look at these little humps right here, this one here, then in this valley here, there is a brook that runs all the way through there. And it contains gold. I pulled a lot out of there. There's another interesting fact that right here, there is another waterway that, let me try to focus out here, that comes down through there. Let's get back to focus here. There we go. All right. So right here. Okay. See all the timber in there is altogether different than what you see up on the other side of the mountain. I'd say that's pretty mineralized. So this is Herrick Mountain way off in the distance. That's your tallest mountain, okay? And then that valley runs right through what they call the Ira Valley, all right? So another interesting fact is if you look at this field, you have all these drainage spots like right here, okay? There's another one hiding behind here. And I'll get a shot of it on the road for you guys to see. These are late drainage of the glaciers. I mean, this is all glaciation water that came down through these valleys. And I know so because there's a big giant glacier dam, which we're going to get into on another video. But I just want to tell you, these I do believe are called geological drumlins. They're little deposits, and then what happens is the water's got to drain, goes right off the road over here, then it heads this way. But the big glacier dam that we're going to talk about is up in Timoth. And this is really cool because you can kind of follow it and see where these things drained. But yeah, reading these mountains are pretty simple, guys. Look for these areas right here, especially where the glaciers did drain in a heavy area. Ira is all glaciated. I mean, the whole area in the Taconic mountain range is all glacial till. I mean, look at this big mountain over here. This was all another area where it got backed up. So the valley that runs through here, cuts through here, goes right into Middletown Springs. And there's an area where the glacier did let go, and it carved in a pretty damn deep gully down in there, over 70 feet deep. Oh, here's another cool thing. Check this out. There you go. There's a view. You got Killington. You got... let's see if I can pop over here a little bit and get Pico in the picture. I'm not sure if I can get it in there or not. See if it'll show itself. Nah, Pico is like right here, okay? But that snow peak way off in the distance is Killington. And then the one to the left of it is Shrewsbury Peak, okay? So yeah, these are some of the views that Vermont has. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Look at this. All right, so again, valley floors, check the valley floors. The gold is not going to be up in here. It's not going to be there unless there's lode gold in the ledges or whatnot. The gold has already been washed down through. It's been mineralized, and then it douches itself down through these valleys, the valley floors. So a lot of my gold mining guys will take off and they go up in these mountains, like up in here. There's a crotch that cuts this way and another one right here. All right, and they'll start digging up there and getting all willy-nilly and playing in waterfalls. Guys, I'm going to give you a tip right now. Unless there's a shift there that looks like a book, okay, and it caught gold and it's trapped in there, go ahead and play in the waterfalls. But 99.9% of that gold is blown right out of there, all right? So get down into the lower land. Some of these, like this is a big glacier drainage area. I know there's a little brook that runs across right here. I found gold in it. I've taken it home. I've smiled and said, yep, there's gold here. All right. So, I mean, it isn't, you know, get up a little bit higher than way down on the valley floor. Kind of check these upper brooks, but don't go way up on top of a mountain like this. That's just, you're wasting your time. I'm not going to say you're stupid because I used to do it myself until I was taught a hell of a lot different. So, yeah, this is a beautiful view of Herrick Mountain. Yeah, beautiful. So get down on the valley floors and check them out, guys. You're going to be surprised what you put in your vial. All right, guys, here's another cool view. Check this out. Way off in the distance over here, that is Killington. That's Shrewsbury Peak. Okay, let's look at this mountain range. Now, right around the corner, right over here is Pico. You just can't quite see it. But follow this mountain range and then drop down over here. Look at this right here. Would you be checking for gold up there? You bet your hiney I would, because I know I'd find some shiny. This whole flank right here drains down through in different brooks, such as the Menden Brook, Cold River, Mill River. They take a drainage area out through this whole area. Killington way up there, I've never really done any prospecting way up in there. I'm more like halfway down right here where the glacier till starts, and then I kind of head down and meander. And not all the time I find gold up in these areas, guys, but it's worth taking a peek, especially if you're healthy and you're young, because you never know. It's that one little pocket, that one little area where a bunch of stuff got deposited, and look at that. You guys have found a lot of gold. Now, like I've said 100 times, I've been so fortunate to hang around, which this was explained to me if you guys want to hear something. All right. So in the mid-1800s to 1930, that would be an 80-year-old person. And then from 1930s all the way up to the 1990s, that's an 80-year-old person. So we would be what? Considered the third generation? The third generation of miners in Vermont? And look at what we're finding. Yes, now and again, some people still find cute little nuggets down in the gold belt. And they are. They're actually beautiful gold. Vermont has some of the most purest and beautiful gold, too. They can still be found here and there, but them old timers took out a lot. And like I said, you know, I've been doing this for over 40 years, and I was fortunate enough to be around Gene and that stinking old goat that he used to hang around with, Gabby. God, that guy stunk. But anyways, they used to bring me to Plymouth and Buffalo Brook area back when I was, you know, I was young when this all happened. You know, probably 13 is when I started. So we got to see I got to see some pretty cool shit, guys. I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm very, very fortunate that I was able to see what I got to see. But yeah, this is kind of some cool stuff. Now, let's drop over here to the field. Look at these drainage areas over in here. Look at this right here. All right. We're going to come down the field, and I'm going to just drive slow because I'm on a back road and I'm being responsible. But I'm going to cut over here and I'm going to drop down the window so you guys can see how this glacier drained down off the top of this mountain. Now, the big mountain range that's dropping all of this till and got bulldozed over into here was Timoth Mountain. Timoth Mountain is right behind me. But we're going to do something cool about the glaciers here, and hopefully I can get some input. But I have an old glaciation maps that was done by Charles Dahl. And I can't wait because I've read some of them and I'm like, oh my God, here it is. But look at this, how that's just draining right down off the top of this hill. Now, I mean, we're descending, guys. You can see we're going right down a hill. So look at the mounds and the drainages that are down through here. Here we go. We're going to see a good one right here. Look at this. Now, this is glacier drainage. Has nothing to do with reading mountains. I just figured I'd show you guys because I'll give you a taste of the next video we're going to do. We're going to start showing where some of these glaciers moved around and deposited and drained. Look at this, way up over there. I'm driving on top of that. That's way up there. Pretty cool, huh? And this is what I like doing is I read these mountains. Like, again, here's that mountain that I showed you with the little crotch in it. Let me get out here so it's clear so you guys can see it. And I'm going to shut the camera down here because now we're on a main road. But you see this crotch right here? There's a waterfall that drops right off there. And I've seen people go up in here. And I know they've been prospecting because I've seen little shovelfuls. I don't know who's been up in this area, in this type of area. But they've been working up these upper dropouts. And that's exactly what that is. It drops right out into a valley. But interesting fact. Now the glacier crosses the road and heads in a whole different direction. That heads down toward Chippenhook. Okay? The glacier now, on this side over here, is headed to Pulteney. Now, this is cool shit. So, yeah. Let me, I'm going to go down a little bit, and I'm going to just stop so you guys can see another big drainage area. So what you're seeing here is the end result. See it? It zigzags right up through the valley right there. There's two more going down over this hill. It's crazy. And there's one that actually drains off down over the hill and comes in. It's nuts how much water and glaciation moved all through these valleys. All right, everybody. Well, here's another shot that's kind of cool. We're over in the Hampton Valley, looking across the valley toward Herrick Mountain. So if I was going to be looking for gold on Herrick, I would definitely be in somewhere up in this district right there. See these lines that are coming down? These are brooks. Okay? Look at it over here. Right there. Try to get you back in focus. See how it drops down? And then two ridges right there. I've been there. I know there's gold there because I pulled it. So this is the kind of stuff you do. That's Spruce Knob right there, that big one. And then you've got Little Herrick and Big Herrick, okay? And these are on the western flank. We're looking at the western flank. So any of them little drop downs over there, especially like right in there, are going to be gold bearing. Okay? Now you follow them down and you're going to see a pretty darn cool brook that cuts through there. Okay? There's all kinds of little brooks that drop down the bottom of these. So here, 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 and over here. All right? These are brooks coming down out. I don't go way up here, and I will show you this real soon why. But I just want to show everybody that, and if you look close, you can see little piles of slate. That is the slate belt that runs all the way down through Hampton, down into New York, and up in, I think it goes all the way up to Lake Bomazeen. But yeah, so these are this is how you read mountains, guys. Get far away from the mountain you think you want to prospect and take a look at where the glacier's drained. Because all them big areas that are dug out right here, this is all glacier. Glacier did all this damage and moved. So yeah, hey, I hope everybody's liking the videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we thank you. Alright guys, that wasn't bad footage. I'm no professional or anything like that. And sometimes my pen goes in and out of focus. Sorry guys. Like I said, I'm not a professional by any means. So now you see what I do. I drive off in the distance. I look at these glacial drains. I really look for the North Brooks though. The North Brooks really, really do more producing than one flying off the south. There's still gold in them. You just got to look really hard, and sometimes people just get sick of it because you work so hard to try to find like a flake for the day. Yeah. So this is why you try to pinpoint these brooks that are facing north. Different geologies that run through the area, faults, contacts, all the stuff that I put on earlier. So go take a peek. So one of the things that I've been asked about is, you know, when you get to the waterfall, well, what do you do, Wayne? Okay, well, I'm going to answer that. So you have a waterfall coming off, say, the top of the mountain, okay? Here's the waterfall. Water's blue. I'll use a blue one, so that'll dictate the water, okay, guys? And I hope everybody can see it. So this is the blue going down. So the higher up your mountain is, your peak, wherever the water starts, could be at a fault, could be anything. Starts coming leaching down through the mountain. Here's your first waterfall. Now when you look on a topo map and you see them lines, them contour lines, and they're squeezed together, that usually means there's a waterfall right here. So check out the waterfall. The waterfall is going to make this drop, and this is where everybody goes and plays because they're all excited. They see a waterfall. That waterfall has done so much washing out. Where you want to start looking, come away from the waterfall, get away from it quite a ways. And if it doesn't, and it just keeps dropping, get out of there, guys. You need to be able to find these areas where the water comes down through and begins to kind of get, like, give you a little flat area. And then sometimes you get one of these and it humps up a little bit. Usually that's a deep pool. But you're surprised in the middle of summertime when we don't have much water, how good that these pools will drain and you can get into them. Especially the cracks in the brooks that are going through like a fault zone or whatever. This is the stuff I look for. You know, I'm pretty much done with the willy-nilly stuff over on the other side of the mountain. I like just going into the mountain, looking at the geology and saying, hey, let's see if we can find something here, you know. The days of finding big amounts of gold is, you know, pretty much over for me. Plus, I can't really travel the mountains like I used to because of my lovely back surgery. But, you know, it is what it is. So away from the waterfall, you could have ancient areas where this waterfall was 3 times the size of this thing, you know, during prehistoric flood. I mean, in these pockets, these areas, these deprivations in the rock can actually be gold bearing, guys. Where I usually find my gold is about halfway down the mountain, say. Kind of like the way I was showing you over there on the Hampton Valley one while shooting across the Herrick, well, how the mountains kind of come together like this. Well, when them come together like that, there's saggy areas down through the tectonics because we're so faulted and thrusted that we have all these little traps. So I don't know if that's making sense to you, but, you know, this is what you want to look for. You know, and then when you get way down here and it starts to get really flat, well, you're going to be digging in a lot of till. Because now you got to get back down to bedrock. So what I like to see happen is, say you have a waterfall, whoosh, and you get a nice straightaway like this with a little lope like this. I'll get quite a ways from that waterfall, and I kind of look at the brook and said, hey, let's take a look right here. Because if there is anything up higher than this, it's going to wash down, and throughout the time, the ice push, the mountain making, continental, everything. I mean, so this is how I do it, guys. I know there's a lot of people that do it a lot differently. They use drones and stuff like that. I mean, technology has taken off something fierce. I actually use a little DG3. I think it's got, I don't know, it's some little drone, but it does a really good job. And I really don't know how to get the footage from it to my video maker, but I'll learn it. I've been trying to learn this stuff very slow. As you can see, I'm not a professional video maker. I will tell you that. So yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying the channel. We've got a couple of things that we're going to be doing here. We're hoping to do some crushing right after Thanksgiving. I think I'm going to crush some of that stuff from Mount Baker Mining and Metals. Jason out there giving you a shout out way over here on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast in the Cascades. We're in Appalachian Mountain Range in Vermont. So anyways, don't forget, guys, sign up, become a member, become a subscriber, and you're in to win this gold right here. All right. So reading mountains, you can do it differently by using technology. Now they have all this 3D LiDAR, and they got everything. I mean, it's crazy what you can find now, and it's getting more and more exciting and more adventurous than me being stuck in a brook all day. I mean, I kind of like the adventure now. I've been stuck in the brook all my life, and it's been kind of fun, but it's becoming more adventurous when you start, learning all this stuff. So we're going to do one more. Hopefully the winter don't set in, because I'm going to take you guys on a drive up on top of a glacier dam, the tippy top. And I've already mapped it out. I know exactly where it is, because a long time ago, I've done a lot of studying. And those of you know what this is. All right? And Mr. Doll. Okay? I have checked a lot of this mapping out. Now, I do believe this map was done in the 1950s, I do believe. Right here. 56 through 59. And they're more accurate than some of these computer things that show you where a fault goes and whatever. It's kind of nuts. But I think I've told you guys before, I'm kind of a glacier nut. I kind of like to see the scrapes and the till, where it went, the drainages. So that's going to be in the future. I want to get a crush off. I want to get some crushed up. And then we're going to go and do a video where I take it to get it refined. Yeah, we get to see this. This guy gets it right down to the, what we're going to be dealing with. You're getting down really tiny, into the nano. And that's where he goes. He starts with the bigger stuff, which I highly doubt we're going to do, because it is a crush. And most of your ore gold does not come out in, flat pieces or anything like that. It's more uniform, crushed up material. I've done crushes before, and it's kind of fun, but it's a lot of work to set it up. And then, the one that I'm going to be using, I'll do a quick video on what I'm going to be using and how to set it up before we actually start the crush. I think that'd be kind of fun. So again, I hope everybody's enjoying the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. That's all you can do for us for now. Enjoy our videos. Northern Appalachian Prospecting, out. And by the way, get off your hiney and find some shiny.